Dream of being a designer? I'm going to show you how to turn simple patterns into high fashion designs. This is part 2 of my series on creating gathers. We're going to add gathers to this basic pattern piece. First, trace the pattern piece you will be modifying. Never cut the original. Since this piece has a 1/2 inch seam allowance, I'll trim that off too, so I'm working with the original shape without seam allowance. Second, decide where you want the gathers, horizontal or vertical. Then draw a line going through the center of the pattern. This line marks the base point for adding your gathers. Adjust its angle if you want gathers focused in a specific area. Decide how many times to divide your pattern. I'm dividing my piece into 4 equal parts. I like to fold the pattern to find the divisions, then mark the lines at the fold. More lines equal softer, even gathers. Fewer lines equal bigger, chunkier gathers. Once your lines are marked, number each section to keep track in case the pieces get mixed up. Now cut in between the lines to separate them. Next, grab some new pattern paper and draw a straight line on it with a ruler. Then tape down your first pattern piece so the lines match up. Decide how much fullness you want to add in between each piece. I recommend adding a minimum of 1.5 inches. Anything less won't make much of a difference. Since I'm adding 1.5 inches of fullness, I will tape the next piece 1.5 inch from the edge of the first piece. Continue spacing and taping each section evenly. Once all sections are taped down, connect the inner corners of each section with the straight line. This creates the new shape of your pattern. Since the piece has no seam allowance yet, add a 1/2 inch all around. After adding the seam allowance, cut out your new pattern and it's ready to be cut out in fabric. Gather the new pattern piece as shown in my last tutorial. Refer back to it if needed. Sew 2 rows of stitches along the modified edges. Stitch a 1/2 inch from the edge to avoid gathering the seams. This will make it easier to attach. Gather until the pieces match the original pattern's width. Secure the threads and sew it to the bodice. This is a creative way to turn the skybody dress pattern into your own unique design by adding gathers like this. If you want to keep learning with me, you can download the pattern. The link is in my bio, and follow for more sewing tips and creative hacks. Also, let me know if you want more videos on how to use creative gathering.